Hi everyone, today I'm here to talk about the books I am most excited to get to in 2017. Last year I only had like 8 books on this list, and this year somehow it's at like 14 books, so we're just gonna roll with it and I'm just gonna tell you things that I really want to get to in 2017. I've divided this into 4 categories: classics, nonfiction, new fiction, and miscellaneous random things that don't really fit into any of the first 3 categories. I'll start with classics. I realized in 2016 that I wanted to read more classics, but that I wanted to read classics that were more tailored to my tastes, and I wanted to read more women author classics, so there's a bunch here. So the first classic on this list is Gone with the Wind, and this is a ginormous volume, but I think it would definitely be something that I would enjoy because of the time period that it's set in and because of the historical basis and historical background that is in it as well. The next thing on here is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I'm laughing because I've gone this long in my life without reading it, and it's kind of ridiculous. I'm putting it on this list to hold myself accountable, and finally can I read Jane Austen. I need to go read Jane Austen. The next classic on here is Rebecca, and I want to get to this one because Bree loves it so much and because I've heard so many great things about it, and it's like gothic atmosphere and that really intrigues me, so Rebecca is going to happen in 2017. And the last classic on here is Jane Eyre. I want to read Jane Eyre because pretty much everybody who's read it that I follow on Goodreads rated it like 5 stars and loved it. I think it would be something right up my alley, and I also really want to read it because I want to read Jane Steele, which has been a lot of people's favorite book of 2016. I probably don't need to read Jane Eyre to get into Jane Steele, but I feel like it would add to my experience to read Jane Steele by reading Jane Eyre first. So the next category is nonfiction, and definitely I have a lot of nonfiction reads on here that I'm really excited about. The first one is Give Us the Ballot, and this one focuses on voting rights and how they are being diminished in our time right now. I follow the author on Twitter, and he is constantly posting after the election lots of things that don't look so good, and how some people are really trying to limit others' voting right. The next book on here is one that I've had on my list since I heard about it first on WNYC's On the Media with Brooke Gladstone and Bob Garfield, and that is White Trash. I am thinking that this is going to be everything that I hoped that Hillbilly Elegy could be, to just provide more of a historical lens on the issue. So I think it's definitely something that I kind of dabbled in during undergrad, learning about how different white people have been othered over time. They have just come into being just white and being American. Yeah, I think this is going to be a great read for that. Dead Mountain and Touching the Void, and I kind of just combine these two because they're both mountaineering kind of adventure stories. If you've been recommended Into Thin Air, you've also been recommended Dead Mountain and Touching the Void. I want to continue reading these kinds of stories. I think they're so fascinating, and they definitely have me like tensing on the edge of my seat. More mountaineering, climbing Mount Everest, climbing crazy mountain stories. And the last nonfiction book that I have on here is Stamped from the Beginning, and this is a book about how racist ideas have come to be in our society. It is written by a professor at the university that I graduated in the department that I graduated from. I got a history bachelor's degree from UF, and he teaches there at UF, which is super exciting. Go Gators! He is also going to be speaking at my library in February, so I'm hoping that I could get to this book before then, and this also won the National Book Award for nonfiction this year. The third category that I have on this list is new fiction, and that is things that came out in 2016 that people were buzzing about and a lot of people read and enjoyed, and I want to make sure that I get to it in 2017. The first thing on this list is definitely Homegoing. It is a lot of people's favorite book of the year. I love that it's using history to tell this story, so I'm hoping that this lives up to every expectation I have of it. The next new fiction book on this list is The Underground Railroad. This book a lot of people have read in 2016. Oprah loved it, everybody loved it, it was on everybody's best of the year list. I definitely want to get in on this conversation so I can talk about it with you guys as well. I think it's interesting that he's using this actual railroad to tell this story. And then finally the last category is kind of like the mishmash category. Most of these are more light books. I need to lighten up my reading with all the other books that I have talked about so far. The first one I have on here is Lumberjanes. I really want to get to Lumberjanes in the new year. Everybody really enjoys this series. I think after loving Nimona so much, I really am excited to get to Lumberjanes in the new year. I also really want to finish The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants this year. I only have one book left. Another book that I really want to get to is I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith. It sounded just kind of like the vibe and atmosphere that I would enjoy from a book, and I think I would love the main character, so this is one that is on the top of my list, and I actually own a copy because I bought it at a library book sale, so definitely this one needs to happen in 2017. And last but not least, I have The Princess Diaries on here. Never actually read The Princess Diaries. I've loved the movie forever, but I never read the series, so this year I want to get started on the Princess Diaries series. I think that is all the books. All of them are crossed out now, so I hope you enjoyed watching my video and learning about some of the books that I want to read in 2017. If you are thinking of reading any of these, let me know down below. Maybe we could put together a buddy read, or we could discuss it after we are both done reading it. Thanks for watching my video. I shall see you in my next one. Bye bye. Also, really exciting news. You're on a tripod. I got a tripod for Christmas. Now I don't have to pile on a bunch of books to try to get a good angle. So, thanks to my father.